Mr. Earl is happy to have y'all here. We sure do hope you have every bit as much fun as we have here doing what we do for you. I'd like to talk a little bit about my daddy. My daddy. There weren't nothing in the world my daddy wouldn't give me. All I have to do was ask. So I says, Daddy, can I have a pet? He says, you gotta promise to take care of it. I says, okay, Daddy. So he says, well, what kind of pet do you want? And I says, I want a pet bear. So we got this big old bear, put him out in the backyard, chained him to a stake, set out a gallon tub so he could have water, and we fed him some bear chow, and it's in the shape of little picnic baskets. Well, but you know, the neighbors started complaining about all the dogs disappearing in the neighborhood, so we had to get rid of old Fuzzy. Well, then we got ourselves another pet. I was a thrilled little shaver when Daddy brought home this pet. It was the biggest thrill of my admittedly young lifetime. Well, the old asthma's kind of getting to me. Can't play like I used to. Well, I was a thrilled little shaver, and you know, it was only yesterday, but it seemed like years and years ago. I was just as thrilled as a little shaver could be. Wasn't I jumping around like a little scamp when Daddy brought me home my very own pet god? Yeah, you know, we used to have to keep our pet god chained to a god leash. That's because we were scared he'd go out there and start running around with all them bad gods in the neighborhood. Well, one day, my god, he was kind of sickly. He didn't come right away when I called him, even though I sent him to the God obedience school so he'd do just that. So my daddy says, son, your God is old and feeble. It wouldn't be right to let him suffer. He says, son, a man's got to do what a man's got to do, even when it's his favorite God. So I went out, and I got the rifle, and I pointed it at the head of my faithful old God. And he looked at me with them big, blue, omniscient eyes of his'n, and I know that he knowed what I was going to do. Well, after the deed was done, Daddy said to me, son, always remember, you can't teach an old God new tricks. And on that kind of note, I think we ought to bring up Mr. Chris Chandler. He's virtually a mainstay of the open mic here. I can drop the hick accent too, kind of late. Mr. Chandler.
Okay, fine. You guys here okay? I don't feel like, you know, it's like to yell over them subway trains. This is what happened to me not too long ago. See, I was sitting at home. I was sitting at home all alone. Nobody come over, nobody phone. I was feeling all lonely. I was feeling all lost. This Mormon missionary came over and I invited him. He blew me off. Well, I didn't figure I could handle it for long, so I went and turned my TV set on. Well, the program looked like it's coming from some cartoon network, from some preposterous, surreal point of view. I looked up the TV guide and I found out I was watching the 6 o'clock news. So I flipped the channel over and I found a guy who said in a past life he had been a sea slug with Shirley MacLaine. Flipped the channel over again and I found a preacher who said if you send money to Jesus, he'd give you riches and fame. Well, his method was foolproof that no one could doubt. Just look at me, he said. 6 months ago, I was a cook at the Waffle House. So I flipped the channel over again, and I wound up on MTV. People who like to draw watch MTV a lot, so you'll appreciate this. What I saw on MTV was a rock star with the intellect of a reincarnated sea slug, and he had riches and fame right now. Well, this filled me with angst, it filled me with ennui. I decided maybe I should turn off my TV. So I started feeling like that cat in Faust. And just as Mephistopheles showed up, I decided maybe I should get out of the house. He was selling Amway. So I went walking down the winding street, wondering who I was going to meet. When up comes a girl with a gun in her hand, said she was looking for a real man. She had a platinum wig placed upon her head. She had motorcycle boots, smoked Marlboro Red. She looked at me and a damn near died. Decided I didn't have a place to hide. She cocked her gun and said it was fake. She said, if you're a real man, you're my mate. So I said, for you, babe, I've just got one question. Which way to the florist convention? I'm late. But she wasn't buying none of that at all, so I went and knocked her out with my parasol. When up comes the guy with a John Wayne walk, says, me and you, buddy, we better talk. He had a tattoo and a southern drawl, 3 pit bulls and a chainsaw. He came up to me and said, I seen a girl laying on the street with a gun in her hand. She told me a thing or two. Hey, you mind if I head to the florist convention with you? See, I was headed there and I lost my way. And I've had this idea for a poinsettia arrangement stuck in my head all day. Can't shake it loose and I can't get it out of my head. Hey, I like your parasol. So we got to a bus and we went downtown. When up came this crazy florist looking to track me down. He was a walking cliche, he talked with a lisp, had a lavender tie and a limp wrist. Came up to me, he was shaking his fist, said, hey buddy, you better listen to this. Or I'm gonna take these tulips and feed you with an inch of your life. Are you the guy that took a parasol and beat up my wife? Now you might be wondering why I was scared. See, I once had this experience that still traumatizes me to this day. I was once attacked by a whole street gang wielding dandelion bouquet. So I said, don't hurt me none, don't hurt me pal. And just about then, them 3 pit bulls started to growl. This guy over here's got a picture of those pit bulls, as a matter of fact. So I took the opportunity when I seen the fuss to jump right on an uptown bus. I got inside and I paid the ticket. And I left the florist to John Wayne and the canine fashion critics. Now the moral to this story that I wanted to impart to all of you, all 7 of you, all right, 6 of you, is never leave your house without your parasol. If I hadn't left the house, things wouldn't have turned out so well. My living room would be filled with Amway products from hell. Now, one thing that might be occurring to you is whether or not this song is really true. What do you think? Think it's a true story? Yeah. Well, about the truth, everybody's got their side. It's determined by prejudice, determined by pride. About so-called fact or fiction, hell, they might both be wrong. But at least with imagination, I know I'm making it up as I go along.
Yes, we are all making it up as we go along. Mr. Chris Chandler, please have another hand. Yes. Who's next? The roar. Sullen. but gradual. Desperate? Yeah. You want to come up and play some harmonica? No. No. Can you play 2 harmonicas at once? Really? That's an amazing trick. I know a guy who can play 3 saxophones at once. Well, I don't know him very well. It's not the kind of people I hang out with. Now, we have somebody say they wanted to do some comedy in this, the best of all possible circumstances. Please come on up if you do. This is a gentleman who performs with the band Pelvic Thrust. Please introduce yourself to our teeming mob.
I really appreciate your song. I was listening to it, but I was busy trying to get this ready. So,
I figured I'd take on you.
I know what it's like. So okay, start out. If you look closely, I don't know. Can you, this is a bar, not unlike the bar we're at right now. And if you look really closely, these are me and my friends. We're hanging out. We're hanging out by the ladies' room. Because, well, if you watch girls and you hang out by the ladies' room, you can see if they go back and forth often. If they go back and forth very often, it means either they have a bladder infection or else they drink a lot. If they drink a lot, that means maybe they feel a bit easy to hit on, you know, because they won't have their, what do you call it, critical facilities won't be working as fast. But anyways, these are me and my friends hanging out at the bar. So I made a bet with my friends at the bar that I was going to win this contest. So this is sort of this is a story of me in this contest. Okay, this is whenever you do something, you have to try things first, and so that's why I come here to try things out, see how it goes over. And so this is the next page is about the preliminaries to the big bout. It was pretty hard, but I wait a minute, how to turn this? I won this one. I don't know if you can notice it, but there's me. I won the first match, and so I was trying to get myself worked up for this competition. I was wondering what I was going to do. So this is the next step. This was pretty hard too. One thing I found that if you're going to be a good contestant, it helps to be angry. So I had to swear off sex. So here I am in this picture, and if you can read Italian, that says "No le me tangre," that means "Don't touch me." That's pretty hard. And this is another thing I need to get myself ready. One thing that got me really angry was the sight of my own blood. So here I am here. I had some friends to flay me alive. It was a little painful at first, but I think that's, you know, that was one of the things I really enjoyed it. This is my father over here. This is me on the way to the big competition. I'm being carried by these people down here. There I am, hanging out. This is on Hemingway Street, if you remember that. If you haven't been down there, this is across from Cappy's Pizza. This is fries and stuff. So, still preparing for the contest, and that's it for now. Thank you.
We have a special guest who's lurking in the doorway. Maybe we can call him in here. Jeffrey? Do I hear Jeffrey's pitter-pattering steps as he slowly walks into the room?
Nope.
Nope. And in the interim, I'm sure we have somebody who wants to perform next. They're just like dying to. We have something more of a crowd. This postmodernist commentary is too much, isn't it? All right.
do this as Pelvic Thrust tonight, so I'll do this on my own. To give you a taste of the excitement that's about to follow. I swear we'll tune these guitars before we go on later.
I've got the face
song, everyone. Okay, we'll be back later on with the rest of the band, and we'll tune our guitars, so I swear to God, I'll sound better. Andrew's gonna sound great. I want to thank everybody. Prickly Heat is gonna play tonight. Be prepared.
The upper of my forehead says they'll be playing around 7 o'clock. Isn't that right? See? Thanks to Chuck. Chuck, can Bob use your guitar? Or is that... Okay.
Do you know how to tune it? Could you tune it for me? Yeah. It sounded really bad. Usually at home it sounds better.
Well, now we're going to be treated to a spectacle, solemn scene on the Middle East stage. Bob Siri, oh, head squiggle face, tuning up. Doesn't matter if it's tuned, it's Bob's philosophy. He'll give it a go. That's the kind of free-thinking, free-willing American individualism we like to see on the stage of the Middle East. Once again, Bob Siri. Well, I think maybe we can get Chris back up here. He's willing. Once again, Mr. Chris Chandler. I love this sound, the world of sound. Welcome to the world of audio dynamics. The lowest bass to the highest treble. All on one band of sound, solid sound. Sounds so solid, it strains your muscles to keep up with it. And while these two famous musicians, one from the Inn and the other a renowned solo artist, Schmooze, I'll call attention to it. Because that's just the kind of guy I am. But seriously, Mr. Chris Chandler. And he's going to tie it to a theme. Sorry if I'm spilling the beans, Chris. Chris is going to do a song about North Carolina, home of the Inn, one of whose members we just had here, schmoozing.
I'll do one, but I want to do one about Cambridge first. I've been to Cambridge more recently than I've been to North Carolina. I wish you guys could see these little lights flashing here. This is really cool. We've got about 2 months worth of subway rot on these trains. You guys from the Inn, I don't know how long you've been in Cambridge, but this is what you've been missing. It's not just Cambridge, it's the Northeast. See, I've been traveling around a whole lot and been booking around the Northeast, and we Southerners, we're not used to this. So. But we love everybody and everything on the Mother Earth. Well, unless, of course, it happens to be wearing leather, suede, or fur. Because animal rights, you know, it's something that we push. And we support the arts, too, well, unless it's created by an animal hair paintbrush. And we don't like plastics either, so nylon paintbrushes are the latest thing that we're hating. Maybe that's why all our new age art looks a lot like finger painting. You know, we're bound and determined to save the whales, even if it is 2 at a time. And we're concerned about our health, so we eat organic vegetables as if there were another kind. Now, for the most part, we don't really agree with the FDA. We don't think they go far enough. But we go ahead and eat oat bran anyway. Well, they say it makes us live longer, but I think the shit just tastes so bad it makes it seem that way. 'Cause we're the whole wheat left, politically correct, macrobiotic, 'cause the whole wheat left, vigilante vegetarians into nonviolent unrest, tofu liberals, we're the whole wheat left. Now we watch what we say, we don't want to offend any man. Well, I remember back football season when the New England Patriots played the Washington Native Americans. Now, like they always have, kids rebel against their parents today. But you know, I don't want to have kids anyway. Now, it's not like you're thinking, not because of any kind of population sway, it's just because I don't want to have to become a registered Republican just so the kids will turn out okay. And besides, you know, it's really hard to find politically correct toys these days. And if I could find them, I'd want to give them all I got. You ever try to go out and find one of them Jerry Garcia Transformer robots? Now, we're into art, culture, and music, yes, sir. Now, if you watch us dance, you'll see we have the rhythm of your average pro-lifer. 'Cause we're the whole wheat left, politically correct, macrobiotic, 'cause the whole wheat left, vigilante vegetarians into nonviolent unrest, got our crystals on Medicaid, we're the whole wheat left. About safe sex, though we boycott the manufacturing of plastics. personalities, and sometimes that's unfortunate. You know, I wish smoking would become fashionable so I could quit. Now, we're into coffee or tea, as long as it contains no caffeine, which is a lot like being a homeless tenant or using a condom with a hole in it. Where the whole wheat live, politically incorrect, macrobiotic, 'cause the whole wheat live, vigilante vegetarians and the non-violent unrest, health-conscious whale watchers, whole wheat live. In North Carolina, I got involved with a group out of Greensboro called Citizens Against Censorship. Censorship takes on a little different meaning here in Massachusetts, but there's a cat somewhere around North Carolina by the name of Jerry Falwell. Majority's new bestseller. And we're all in terrible trouble, according to this here Falwell fella. Yeah, we're all in terrible trouble, that's his refrain. He says our writers and our painters and our performers are to blame for what he says obscene in this world today. But you know, the most obscene thing is these here restrictions he's made. He wants all our obscenity laws to be restated. Make people afraid to sell the swimsuit issue of Sports Illustrated. Because you know, if we read that magazine, we'll be out on the streets to riot and loot. And you know, when the Antichrist comes, he'll be wearing a two-piece swimsuit. Oh, it's okay to sell books and tell people to make bombs. That's okay. I guess that's better than showing a picture of a set of tits that could blow you away. Now, the First Amendment means more to me than just a suggestion. And censorship-proof fear is the same as a prosecution. But here's one question I've been thinking about, but I just don't know. If girly magazines cause rape, well then science fiction must cause UFOs. You know, there's nothing more dangerous than his righteous mission. So tell me, Jerry Falwell, when you stop throwing the lions to the Christians. Now, the arts community, as they choose to call themselves, sits back waiting on its next paycheck while its work's being taken off the shelves. They tell me they're too busy checking into what might sell while they stand with their Wall Street Journal in hand outside a gallery hell. Why should they worry about the work being displayed on the gallery walls? Hell, there's more money getting work displayed in motel rooms and shopping malls. And the young kids in biology class can see the insides of a cat. But they're not supposed to have a nude model in their drawing class. Then you get into the folk singers. Yeah, the folk community, as they choose to call themselves, punches in the clock in their day job, waiting for their songs about being drifters to be played on WERS. You know, you guys are much worse than Jerry Falwell and his Shiite Christian sect. At least those guys know what their objectives are and they're honest about it. You know, there's nothing more dangerous than man his righteous mission. So tell me, Jesse Helms, when are you going to stop throwing the lions to the Christians? Yeah, we better speak up now. We're going to let them get away with this rant. And next thing you know, they're going to be banning your home garden because a flower is just as gentle of a plant. Now, if Thomas Jefferson were alive and living in North Carolina today, hell, he'd probably be in jail over in Landover County with no bail he could pay. But Jesse Helms, now there's a real patriot for America, he'll fight, while from his fangs drips the ink off the Bill of Rights. Yeah, we better speak up now. These people got plenty of witches to burn. They came for your books, but next it's gonna be your turn.
Chris Chandler and all our other friends can be seen on Cambridge Cable Channel 55, Thursdays from 7 to 9 p.m. I don't know if it's going to be on this week. Probably Chris will be on next week, possibly, but tune in if you feel like. And now, your hammy MC essays to perform himself and then gets the hell out of here. I was thinking about the possibilities of reincarnation and various famous people being reincarnated into the present day. Now, what if, and now stop me if you've heard this one before, what if Jesus were reincarnated as a gym coach?
Listen, you don't believe all of the cross? Put your hand in the sword. Go ahead, do it. All right, 200 laps.
Well, anyway. Yeah, it's just a little sample of the jollity you can expect. On the way over here, I saw some hogs. They were eating a copy of USA Today. It had Willard Scott on the cover. The headline read, "American hogs are overweight." And there was a special section in the business section devoted to swill.
It's instant swill. Just add mud and stir.
Yes, all you need is 30 minutes or less.
Broken pieces of glass and anything you can imagine. Stir it right in. They'll eat it.
This is a thought, a really weird thought I had when I woke up. If there's a cockroach heaven, you know you're stepping into one classy place. A perpetually dripping faucet, you know. And the filth is divided up according to grade A, deluxe, fancy, extra fancy. Yeah, I'll have to remember that next time I'm at a dinner party.
Say, gang, you hear about cockroach heaven?
There's another weird thought I had as I woke up, and it was the idea of a yuppie Indian.
White man eat oysters with forked tongue.
Well, rather than not, thanks. I'd like to give a speech. It's about the 7 deadly sins. Actually, I'm going to impersonate the 7 deadly sins. Okay? So what's the greatest deadly sin of all? Lust? No, sorry. That's way down. That's 5th. As if somebody's like ranking them, you know? No, pride. Pride is the deadliest sin of all.
Johnny loses that feel that way.
But you don't know that, do you? I'm the only one who knows that. Ranting. It's pride. When I go to San Francisco, they say I'm an asshole because I eat a fucking avocado and don't pay for it. That was her avocado. That cost 80 cents. Well, what we do? What do you want me to do? Fucking commit Harry Carey right there? And I'm proud that they think I'm an asshole in San Francisco, and that's pride. When I got out of New York, I live on eggs. Everybody hates me because I'm in the kitchen 18 hours a day, cooking eggs. That's all I can afford to eat. I can't even afford to walk down the street in New York because it costs $20 just to walk down the street. If you're a monk and you don't have $20, they'll kill you. Everybody knows that for a fact. So, I see the subway graffiti and it looks like Venusian, and I'm proud. I'm proud that I don't get along with New Yorkers and I hate New York. I'm proud. That's pride. I just want to tell you about pride, okay? Envy. I'm jealous of you guys because you get to sit down here and say, give it a break. And I get to stand here going, ah, that's envy. I envy you. I wish you all were up here and I was down here. That would be fun. Now, anger. I don't have any anger. I don't harbor any anger at all. And I'll fucking kill you. I'll kill you, every single one by one. If you say that I'm angry, I'm angry. Sloth? I'm too fucking lazy to care about sloth. All right? So let's just like forget about it. Greed? I don't want any part of greed. I want all of it, because it's all mine. And if you try to take it from me, I'll take everything from you.
Borrow it?
Well, as long as you return it in a decent condition and you don't make the tires bald. Gluttony. Hey, dun 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 dun. Gluttony. I'm a walking advertisement for it. Finally, guilt? No, that's not a deadly sin. Well, that's a deadly blessing. Finally, lust. Lust. Hey, little mama, what are you doing tonight? You gonna come home with me? Come on, don't be shy, don't be bad, pretty little lady. Just get right up to it. Hey, fella, what are you doing tonight? And as he plants a big wet smacker, that's envy. And that's all I have to say. Geez, I don't know if prickly heat or who the hell wants to go on next? Anybody? We will. Who? Who's that? Who said that? All right, come on up, please. And kindly introduce yourselves. Well, I guess the right first on it. There's Andrew. This here is Pelvic Thrust, one of the very first bands to be a featured act here at the open mic. And we're mighty proud to have them again. And while they set up, I'm just going to get the hell out of here. Thank you all.
This is the greatest freaking place to eat Boston Primo's. Can you hear Andrew? shell. I wanna go with MasterCard. I want more dope than I can smoke. I'm not worried about taking my hand on my pocket too fast and dropping some money on the floor. Throws me out. The impulse make me mad. Money knows me really glad. Oh, man. Said goodbye to Rosalie this morning. I'm gonna have some alcohol. Oh, shoot. Oh, sunny night, so that she impression on. Carry no memory with me till I die. Now you're gonna try to move me out. Tomorrow, gonna try to change the way I am. You know this might change the place I'm living. They'll never change the same man.
Don't get a permit, please.
Rosie, how could it be? You love those other guys you never could love. I don't mind
Inflation is not like 1977, $4, $11.99. Keep going.
Sorry, Rosie.
You know, robots are white. You know, I mean,
I know that I'm too comfortable. If you want me, girl, you know I'll give it up.
that's what I made. That's a transformalist. That is literally a
This is a song about something that happened to us very recently this morning. It was really, really, really awful.
get a pee. I'll go upstairs. What's waiting for me? Go in the bathroom. What do I see?
We don't want to.
I don't want to go this this is like last time. I don't know if we're taking up too much time, but probably thank you everybody. Quickly Beat is going to play tonight. They're really good. Stay. All you people out in television land, call us up. We'll do anything.
Hi, Mom.
We'll hi, Mom.
Colorful inputs of sound is around me. Pelvic Thrust. We have Yukki, Gipe, and Jeffrey Gagnon coming up to grace our stage, which is ever expanding and shimmering and coruscating and flashing with all sorts of brilliantly illuminated colors. The poetry of Mr. Yukki Gipe.
No applause, please, just mine. I narrowly escaped the dollar to tell you this poem. I wrote this today. I work in a copy center. Sometimes when the copies are coming out of the machine, I don't have anything better to do. I never have anything better to do, but I get paid to watch those copies come out of the machine. Anyway, this poem is entitled, Abandoned by Heroes in My Time of Need. Settle down, Francis. I felt the hand of death clutched around my throat, tongue hanging out of my mouth, arms swinging wildly like a fit or a spasm. Very humiliating with nothing to fight against. Nothing to kick in the balls, nothing to practice my childhood cowboy moves on. No Batman and Robin to save me. I always knew Superman was stuck up anyway. With an ego and abilities far beyond those of mortal men, he was probably out leaping tall buildings in single bounds or racing some fucking train. Now my chin and shirt were all wet from the drool emanating from my death-wide mouth and thrashing around like a marionette with a 2-year-old operator. Finally, I could feel the tingly prickling of my body as I began losing consciousness. I thought my eyes would pop like grapes, hard bitten. That would have been real embarrassing for our grand finale. I could see my audience laughing as the curtain fell. Coming back to, I could feel the audience prodding me with needle-tipped tickle sticks, and slowly everything came into focus again. My tormentors now had grave looks of concern on their faces. I was not sure if they were the same people who had before been goading me on to ride the death horse with zest and fervor. They were, though. Everyone laughs when someone is helpless and dangling in front of them, like a toy. And if there's a sympathetic one among them, they're looked upon as a conspirator and sacrificed thusly. That's it. I'd like to now introduce a fellow alcoholic. He's on the wagon. Where it's going. Jeffrey Gagnon.
Turn all that stuff up. This is my last performance here. I quit the Gags, Big Black Book, because of
Tell me it's not so.
Certain things I've just wrote in this song, and I'm probably gonna start somewhere else, so I don't have to deal with promoters and fuckheads, and I can just go right to the owner and alleviate much headache. Francis would jump on stage at any chance. But now it's time for me to go. Go somewhere else and start a show. I taught them well. I taught them some
confused.
See, he didn't need you after all, Francis. Great.
A dictionary torn from the encyclopedia of Mr. Gagnon's fertile mind. We'd like to bring up the featured act. Prickly Heat, are you here? And are you ready? Please come up. Let's have another hand for Jeffrey. That was really the most heartfelt song I've ever heard. Now I'm going to go home and have a coronary. They're going to find me blue on my bed. I'll have choked on my own vomit because nobody strapped me face down. And they'll all say,
Jeffrey did it. Just as sure as he pulled the trigger, he killed him. Let's string him up.
but of course Jeffrey will be long gone. But actually, Prickly Heat.
This first one's called Sharpie.
called Hot Fudge. Johnny Ace. We reworked it and called it Lithium. called Wrench Boy. This next one's a cover. It's called Rip Off. This is our last song of the night. It's called Odor Scum. The words.
Terrence! Introduce yourself!
Yeah, I'm Terrence on vocals. That's Jim on lead guitar. We got Mike on rhythm. Tracy on bass. Spread the word. sure you get your free bumper stickers from the Bumper Sticker Girl.
Don't ever change, Prickly Heath. Well, to close the show, I reckon we ought to bring Mr. Chris Chandler up here for one more go-round. He's not in these parts too often, so I figure we might as well take advantage of him, but only in the most beneficent of ways. Mr. Chris Chandler for one more go-round. Please give him a warm round. Make him feel at home.
Doing a little traveling around and taking off about a week ago down the East Coast, down as far as Atlanta, and back up to upstate New York, and then cross over to California. Take the big plunge. I've never been west of Birmingham, Alabama, so it'll be a big plunge for me. Got the guitar happening? All right. It's a song about, we all look to be about the same little age bracket here. A lot of people have been saying, you know, all of us born in between, you know, like Kennedy and Ford, or the unspoken generation, right? So I got a song for us, all right? It's a song about getting along with your parents as we belly flop into the 90s. Well, you know, I heard about the Woodstock generation, but I read about it in a history book. And when I told my father that I don't like the Doors, the guy turned around and gave me a mean and nasty look. Yeah, I heard about the Woodstock generation and all the crazy things that went on back then. There was Monterey and Haight-Ashbury and Newport Folk and Altamont. Hell, my history teacher told me about them. He told me about them firsthand. You know why? Because I was born in the Watergate generation, post-Kennedy's assassination, after the Beatles landed at the Kennedy Air Station. Watergate generation, Watergate generation. You know, I learned how to tell time with a digital clock. Watergate generation, Watergate generation. Yeah, and I heard about that guy named James Dean. Everybody said that he was this big star up on the movie screen, but why he was such a big star, I don't think anybody really knows. Of course, now I never saw one of his shows, but I can tell you who's a big star, and that's R2-D2. And another one of them is Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Now these guys, they're an important part of my life, just like my brand new Ronco electric butter knife. Because I was born in the Watergate generation after Martin Luther King's fight for desegregation. You know, I just can't remember his assassination. Watergate generation, Watergate generation. You know, I never did learn how to tie my shoes. We had the Velcro substitution. Watergate generation, Watergate generation. Every time I deliver that line, I catch people out there looking down at my feet. I can't figure it out. Yeah, and I heard about all those guys out in San Francisco. I'm gonna go out there and find out if this is true. But I heard about all the flowers that they used to wear in their hair. They made love to who they pleased while they danced around in their underwear. Disco was in when I was a teen. And I can play Asteroid like you've never seen. Cause I was born in the Watergate generation. My parents were into cohabitation. They taught me to accept the Iranian-Contra connection. Watergate generation, Watergate generation. I lost my virginity after the condom revolution. Watergate generation, Watergate generation, yeah, Watergate generation. Yeah, my name's Chris Chandler. This is the original song. That's a terrible version of Toast. But you see, I ain't got enough talent to play songs that other people wrote. I guess that's what happens when you have your formative years in the Reagan era. Because I was born in the Watergate generation. They were walking on the moon before I discovered masturbation. The first time I could vote was for the Bush administration. Watergate generation! Watergate generation! Yeah, Watergate generation! Watergate generation! Yeah, Watergate generation! It seems like a timely thing to do. I'll close it out with this. So what do you guys think? Do you think he's ever going to testify? Wouldn't you guys like to see like big beads of Grecian formula up there on his forehead? Well, Ali knows a friend of mine. I have seen him on TV. He said he had to set aside my rights in order for me to be free. Now, of all the politicians, I think Ali, he knows better. So I didn't mind when he had to put the Constitution through the shredder. Because Ali knows a friend of mine, but every now and then a friendship must yield. He doesn't seem as much like a real man since he took off his uniform. He's like a warrior without his shield. Because Ali knows a friend of mine, he's the kind of guy I'd like to buy a beer. We can put on our army fatigues and go and bash a queer. Because I've got emotional dyslexia, intellectual anorexia, my moral fiber suffering from anemia, and I've got pop culture bulimia. Well, I know what this country stands for, I know what it means to me. I've got the inalienable right to watch TV. Now, you liberals are always telling me how I should feel, but I won't buckle under because I know that wrestling is real. And you know, you liberals, you're just not playing fair. It's because of you our kids in school haven't got a prayer. Because I've got emotional dyslexia, intellectual anorexia, my moral fiber suffering from anemia, and I've got pop culture bulimia. Well, everybody's got an opinion and it's pulling me to and fro. They say this is the information age, but hey, I don't want to know. Because you intellectuals always seem so bothered. I'd like to pull you aside and tell you the only thing you need to know is where to get Consumer Guide. Because we don't want to be bothered, and our numbers are growing. You know, if you can't find it in the outlet mall, then it's just not worth knowing. Because I've got emotional dyslexia, intellectual anorexia, my moral fiber suffering from anemia, and I've got pop culture bulimia. Because George Bush is a friend of mine. Him and me and the regular guys, we're all the same. We like to go hunting and fishing for wildlife and game. But George is one up on us. He doesn't just use a gun and a fishing rod to bring home the kill. He brings out the heavy machinery like an oil drill. You know, he was standing next to Reagan when he gave his farewell address. It was as sad as I could bear. You know, I haven't seen a production quite like that since MASH went off the air. He's spinning the country's wheel of fortune. You caught that of sight. He's got Dan Quayle turning over the 19th to be his Vanna White. Yeah, he's spinning the country's wheel of fortune as fast as it'll go. And one day it's gonna land on what did George really know? Cause I've got emotional dyslexia, intellectual anorexia, my moral fiber suffering from anemia, and I've got pop culture bulimia. Well, once again, my name is Chris Chandler. If anybody would like to get on my mailing list, which just means I can drop you a little letter and tell you when I'm going to be in town again, just let me know. Just jot down your address, and I will send that card. I've also got a new tape coming out called 11 Songs for $5, which includes a new version of this song. anybody wants any information about that, let me know. Because I've got emotional, dyslexia, intellectual, anorexia, my moral file suffering from anemia, and I've got pop culture, bulimia. Thanks a lot.
Be a hostage and see the world, or at least a very small part of it. I can't tell you all the things I miss. I miss being woken up by the smokestacks outside my window. I miss eating those apple pies that are 56% sugar. I miss seeing the Statue of Liberty burning Mexico. I miss the plant store hummus that they sell. I miss it all. But most of all, I miss the big black book. I wish it didn't have to end this way, with my being taken out to a courtyard and ceremoniously executed. But that's the way it's got to end. Please come back next week when our featured guest will be Vegetarian Platter. And thank you all for coming out. And thanks most of all to Prickly Heat and to Mr. Chris Chandler and to all those swell folks who make the open mic and open mic. Thanks again. Tonight we have the exotic band a.k.a. The cover charge for that is $5 if you wish to stay. I'll be around in about 20 minutes, so anyway, and I'm going to turn the lights on. No, it don't mean we want to get rid of you. It means we got to set up. So, you know, hang out for 20 minutes. I don't want to be a control freak here. It's not my job. It is now. Anyway, thanks again.
I don't know about something. We're going to have to lay down some numbers now to travel across the state.